Hey there. Ever caught yourself wondering, is she checking me out? But then you second guess because, let's face it, us guys don't always have a sixth sense for these things. Here's the scoop though. Women are pros at being subtle, and their version of admiration isn't always in your face. It's not about blatant stares or bold moves, it's more like a quiet game of intrigue. And if you're not tuned in, those little cues can slip right past you. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Today, we're breaking down 7 subtle signs a woman might be totally checking you out. From small changes in her body language to those fleeting, seemingly innocent glances, these are the little details that can speak louder than words if you know what to look for. Trust me, once you're in the know, it's like looking at the world with new eyes. You'll never miss these sneaky signs again. Sound exciting? Great, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be able to spot the difference between a smile and the smile. Let's get into it and uncover what she's trying to say without saying a word. 1. The smile and look away game. Picture this scenario. You're minding your business, maybe waiting in line for coffee, or scrolling on your phone in the park. Suddenly, a woman catches your eye. For a split second, you both hold that gaze. But then something happens. She flashes you a soft, effortless smile, and casually turns her head, as if she's just been caught sneakily looking your way. Sound familiar? Now, here's the thing about that smile. It's not your average polite grin people give to strangers on the street. This is the smile. There's something different about it. Her eyes light up a little more, her expression softens, and it feels, dare I say it, just a little more personal. That moment might seem small, but it's her way of checking you out without being too obvious about it. Subtlety is key here. On the flip side, if she locks eyes with you, then quickly looks away with no smile and zero reaction, it could just be a random coincidence. But if she pairs that gaze with an actual smile, the kind that feels warm and intentional, then that's a different story. Pay attention to how it makes you feel because those sparkly eyes smiles tend to leave an impression, right? Here's a little pro tip for you. After receiving that smile, don't just brush it off. It might be her way of inviting you to respond. And no, she's not expecting you to launch into a full Shakespearean sonnet. A simple friendly smile back or a, "Hey, how's it going?" can go a long way in breaking the ice. Smiles can say a lot without a single word, so trust your gut when you see one. That tiny moment of eye contact and that meaningful smile might just be her saying, "Hey stranger, you've caught my attention." But the big question is, are you going to notice it and take the opportunity to connect? 2. The why am I seeing her everywhere mystery. Ever feel like you're in a movie montage where the same character keeps accidentally showing up in your life? Maybe you've started noticing someone around the office corridors, or she's suddenly a familiar face at your local coffee spot. Now, is it possible she's just on the same wavelength as your daily routine? Sure, but is it also possible that she's deliberately placing herself in your orbit? Absolutely. You see, women can be pros at blending into your surroundings. It's not about making grand, dramatic entrances to announce their presence. Oh no, it's way subtler than that. If she's crushing on you, she might just use her observational skills. Yep, women notice the little things, to figure out your hangout spots or your regular routines. And no, it's not about stalking. It's more about giving herself the opportunity to be seen. For example, she's suddenly near the coffee machine in your office at the exact same time you are. Or you keep passing her on the jogging trail where you've worked out for months without spotting her before. Coincidence? Maybe. But if it keeps happening, it's worth paying attention. What makes this interesting is that she's not going to approach you right away. That would make it too obvious. Instead, she's subtly putting herself where you are, creating opportunities for a natural interaction. She might not even say anything the first few times. But trust me, if you notice her lingering in shared spaces and she throws in one of those friendly smiles or gives you a slight wave, it's probably more than just coincidence. The ball is in your court when you spot her repeatedly in your usual hangouts. Don't overthink it. A simple, "Hey, I keep running into you here, what's your name?" can go a long way in breaking the ice. Your confidence in making the first move could be exactly what she's hoping for. Her subtle, recurring appearances aren't just random. They're her way of saying, "I see you, I notice you, and maybe I'd like you to notice me too." Lucky for you, now you're armed with this knowledge, so the next time you notice her coincidentally nearby, you'll know exactly what to do. 3. She picks up on the smallest changes, even before you mention them. Let's paint the picture. You've recently switched up your hairstyle, maybe trimmed that beard a little neater than usual, or hit the gym a few extra times this week. Nothing major, nothing you're bragging about. Yet somehow she notices. You bump into her, maybe at work, a class, or your local coffee spot, and she looks at you with a spark of curiosity. Then out of nowhere, she smiles and says, "You did something different with your hair, right?" Or, "That colour looks really good on you." Now pause right there. That's not just a polite remark. That's not small talk. That is her noticing you in a way that goes beyond the surface. See, when a woman starts developing an interest in a guy, she starts observing him on a deeper level. She pays attention. Her eyes scan for the little details most people overlook. The way your shirt fits better, the cologne you switch to, the extra confidence in your posture. It all registers with her. This is no coincidence. Women are naturally intuitive and observant, especially when someone has captured their interest. If she's pointing out subtle changes in your appearance, it means she's been mentally cataloguing how you usually look and appreciating when you upgrade. Even more telling? She notices things you haven't even noticed about yourself yet. "You look more rested," she might say. Or, "You've been smiling more lately." That's not just a compliment, that's emotional attentiveness. She sees you and she's showing it in the most low-key, heartwarming way possible. So next time you hear those sweet, offhand compliments, don't brush them off. She's not just being friendly. That's her heart peeking through in a safe, subtle way, hoping you notice that she's noticing you. 4. Her body gets fidgety the moment you catch her gaze. Ever lock eyes with a woman across the room and instantly see her shift in her seat? Maybe she quickly looks away, adjusts her blouse, or pretends to suddenly be very interested in her phone or the book in her hand. It might look like nothing, but it's something. That movement? That little shuffle? That's not random. That's her getting caught in the act of checking you out. Think about it. When someone's people-watching or casually scanning the room, their body stays pretty still. But when they're admiring someone they secretly like and that person catches them, it triggers a rush of adrenaline. And the body reacts. She might sit up straighter, smooth her dress, brush a strand of hair behind her ear. All ways to play it cool when really she just got busted admiring you. It's like an adorable version of stage fright. Her internal dialogue probably goes something like, "Oh no, did he see me staring? Quick, act natural." That sudden shift, the subtle awkwardness, the nervous smile. It's cute, it's real. And it's a classic sign she's been watching you with a little more interest than she'd like to admit. Even her throat clears or tapping her fingers on the table. All tiny giveaways that her body is trying to distract you from what just happened. Here's what makes this sign so beautiful. It's raw and unfiltered. It's not something she plans or rehearses. It's a spontaneous human reaction to being near someone she finds attractive. So if you catch her doing that little chair dance the moment your eyes meet, don't ignore it. Smile. Make her feel seen and safe. That flustered energy is coming from a place of affection, even if she's doing her best to cover it up. And who knows? Maybe she's hoping you'll be bold enough to say, "Hey, were you just looking at me?" Just be gentle with it. Chances are she'll blush and laugh. And in that moment, the game changes. 5. Her friends suddenly turn into your secret audience. Here's something a lot of guys overlook. But once you start noticing it, you'll never unsee it again. If a woman is checking you out, she's rarely doing it solo. Nope. She's enlisted a trusted team. Her friends. Her inner circle. Her ride or dies. And these ladies, they don't play around. When she's interested in you, even just a little, her friends become unofficial observers of your every move. You might notice them sneaking glances your way when you're in the same room. One of them might whisper something into her ear and giggle. Another might even come up and accidentally introduce herself just to get a read on you. It's not random, it's recon. This is affection wrapped up in strategy. Because when a woman really likes you, she's not just thinking about how she feels. She's thinking about how you'll fit into her world. And that includes how her friends see you. If they give her the green light, she gets bolder. But if they sense something off, they'll protect her heart like it's their job. So what does this mean for you? It means if you catch her friends smiling when you're near, giving her playful nudges when you speak, or looking at you like you've already been discussed at length, yeah, you've made the group chat. And trust me, that's a good thing. In fact, the moment her friends are involved, it usually means she's already started imagining you as something more. She's testing the waters, seeing how you respond not just to her, but to her world. The key here is to stay confident and respectful. Treat her friends well, engage them kindly, and don't be thrown off if you feel like you're being evaluated. It's not pressure, it's just love in disguise. And if they seem warm and welcoming to you, that's their stamp of approval. They're rooting for you more than you think. 6. She turns small talk into deep dive territory. You ever start a conversation with someone, expecting a bit of polite back and forth, And suddenly, boom, you're 15 minutes in and you've gone from favorite pizza toppings to your childhood dreams and your take on life's purpose. Yeah, that's not just conversation. That's connection. When a woman is truly checking you out, she doesn't want the talk to end. She's not looking for surface-level chit-chat. She wants to uncover what makes you you. And the way she does that is by keeping the conversation alive. She'll ask thoughtful questions, laugh at your jokes, even the corny ones, and share little pieces of herself too, just to keep the energy flowing between you two. This isn't by accident. It's intentional curiosity wrapped in charm. She's testing the chemistry, seeing if your energies align. And if she's going out of her way to steer the chat away from dry, boring topics into something more meaningful or playful, it's her way of saying, I like where this is going. She might ask what kind of music you're into, then follow it up with, why does that artist speak to you? She could comment on your hoodie and turn it into a story about her favorite road trip. Every answer you give becomes a bridge to a new part of the conversation. This is someone who's invested. Even if you're in a group setting, you'll notice she keeps circling back to you. And when you say you have to go, she'll throw in a quick text me later, or wait, one last thing. Anything to keep the connection going just a little longer. So don't let it slip by. If she's working that hard to keep the spark alive in the conversation, don't give her one-word replies. Dive in with her. Match her energy. Let her know you see the effort, and you're enjoying it too. Because when a woman's heart is curious about you, her words become the breadcrumbs. And every sentence is a step closer to something more. 7. She's on a mission to find your connection sweet spot. All right, picture this. You're mid-conversation with a woman, and maybe the chat feels a little off at first. It's not quite flowing, and you're thinking, maybe we don't have much in common. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of letting the moment fizzle out, she shifts into overdrive. Suddenly, she's bringing up one topic after another, like she's spinning a wheel of conversation themes. From trending news to that must-watch series everyone's talking about, and even random hobbies she's picked up recently, she's throwing out ideas in search of that magical moment when your interests collide. And here's the kicker. She's not just casually scrolling through topics. She's invested. If your eyes light up at something specific, you bet she'll hold on to it and run with it. For example, maybe you mention you're a huge sci-fi fan. And even if she's more into rom-coms, she'll ask about your favorite sci-fi books or movies. She might even start recommending you things from genres she's not into. This isn't her being polite. It's her trying to understand your world, and better yet, connect to it. Think about it. If someone doesn't care about you, why would they go out of their way to tweak their conversation just to find that overlap? This effort, this determination to click with you on something, shows she's genuinely interested. It's less about sharing everything in common, and more about wanting to share something, however big or small. The key takeaway here: if you notice someone steering the convo toward finding your mutual interests, and doing so with a genuine sparkle in her eye, that's not just small talk. It's her way of saying, hey, I see something great in you, and I'm eager to be a part of your world. Acknowledge the effort. It could be the start of a great connection. 8. Her actions turn into spotlight moments. Ladies and gentlemen, here's where things can get a little flashy, in the best way possible. You know that saying, actions speak louder than words? Well, sometimes it's not even the action itself, but the intention behind it that speaks volumes. If a woman's got her eyes on you, she may start stepping up her game in ways you can't help but notice. Let's say, for instance, she's typically rocking laid-back outfits around you. But one day, she walks in wearing something bold and head-turning, a look that's designed to leave an impression. You'll find yourself doing a double take, and trust me, that's exactly what she wants. But it's not always about what she wears. She might take a different route and put effort into showcasing her skills or personality. Maybe she's suddenly on fire during those team brainstorming sessions at work, pitching the most brilliant ideas. Or she's going toe-to-toe with you on that big project deadline, like a friendly competition designed to say, look what I can do. It resembles the playful rivalry between siblings trying to outshine each other. But here, the stakes are way higher, because she's serious about catching your attention. And just like that, she's sprinkling a little extra magic into her actions, making them hard to overlook. But here's where you come in. Instead of just noticing, acknowledge it. A compliment like, wow, you crushed it in that meeting, or someone's shining today, can mean a lot to her. Inside, she'll know her efforts paid off, and she'll feel validated for going that extra mile. Remember, when a woman starts doing things outside her usual comfort zone or habits, and it feels like those actions are subtly directed toward you, it's not an accident. It's a calculated move to get noticed, to make sure you know she's there and she's interested. The choice is yours to meet her halfway, but don't underestimate her boldness. Taking that step to stand out in front of someone she admires is her way of saying, "Hey, look at me. I'm worth your attention." Realizing someone is willing to work a little harder to stand out for you is one of the purest forms of admiration. The question is, will you notice when it happens? Keep your eyes peeled, because these little moments can say more than words ever could. Recognizing the subtle signs a woman is checking you out can be a game changer when it comes to understanding attraction and interest. These moments may easily go unnoticed if you're not paying attention, but they hold a lot of meaning. It's about reading between the lines and appreciating the boldness and vulnerability it takes for someone to express interest, even in quiet ways. By staying aware and open to these signals, you can foster genuine connections and avoid overlooking someone who truly admires you. After all, sometimes the biggest opportunities come from noticing the smallest details.